Hey everyone, welcome back to the studio. I picked up something new. So first off, I still have my Juki. This is my workhorse. Behind me is also my Singer Serger. But the other two machines I had, which was a Singer Heavy Duty 6600C, and it had a whole bunch of fancy stitches on it. And then I had a Brother was it SE2000, and that's what I did some of my embroidery work with. And I've done a little bit of cleaning up, rearranging, condensing and everything, and I decided I'm going to sell off two of the machines, get rid of them, and get a bigger embroidery machine that does fancy stitching, just upgrade, but also condense down to just another one machine instead of two kind of thing. So I picked up a Brother SE2000. So we're going to go ahead and get this opened. Let's get started. On top of that, I have a few other pretty cool things to kind of add to this. So let's go ahead and get started on that. This is a pretty big box. I think it's actually bigger than the Juki one that thing came in. Alright, so first off we have the jump drive that holds all the files on it. Alright, let's see. The cord, little accessory pack, which we'll be going over. Basically the same accessories that were in my other one. That is holds a spool of thread, the foot, holy manuals, look at that. So many manuals. Alright. Ooh. Something's in there. We're going to have to pop that open. See what it is. That would be the knee kicker thingy. Okay. There's the machine. I'll get up there in a minute once I get everything else out of here. We have an embroidery hoop. So this machine is also, it's a sewing machine and an embroidery machine combo. I don't do a bunch of machine embroidery. I do some. That goes down in for the bobbin. Don't know why that's out unless it's an extra one. We'll find out. And I don't do a whole bunch of fancy stitching, but I do as some, so I thought a combo machine would be perfect. Spool of embroidery thread. And specifically embroidery bobbin thread. Which, since I already had an embroidery machine, I already have some of that. And the embroidery component itself. So I'll get all the cardboard and everything out of here because everything is out of the box, and we'll get it set up on the table. Shall we? So many little blue tapes. Okay, that is all of the blue tape. In here, I heard it, is more accessories. All the different feet, the seam ripper, some extra bobbins. Nice. And that's not all. There is one more blue tape over here. There's the embroidery or quilting foot free form and the zipper foot. So we'll just leave that thing in there for now. So that's cool. Alright, so this, I don't know if there's an extra one. There's one in it, so I'm guessing that's extra. And there is a bobbin. So the nice thing also is all the bobbins I have from my other machine, they will work on this one. Oh, and look at all these stitches. All right, let's get some power to this thing. All right, so turn on. All right, let's get this set up. So this is wireless. All right, we'll set that up later. The normal stuff: width, length, shift, tension, different stitches. There's 6 pages, each one has 6 on it. The PQS, that tells you which foot you need to use. If it's not listed, it's just your regular foot here, kind of thing. There's the rest of the fancy stitches. There's some alphabets, so that's nice. So yeah, and this is your quick guide up here that's telling you, you know, if you want, say, that stitch on 8, right there on 18, that is underneath number 6. So we go underneath 6, and then we go find number 18, which is right there. So nice quick guide so you can see everything, so you don't have to sit there and, you know, go back and forth and everything trying to find it. So on card 7, you can get some really cool. There's card 7, and I want number, say, 9, little stars. Why not? Yeah. And right here, it's adding it all in. So you can actually design a really cool border by selecting different ones. And then, yeah, just delete, and there you go. So if I want a whole bunch of stars, and then I can do hearts and then a star, you know, and go back and forth or something. But you can add in different ones, and it shows it right here of what it's going to actually do. So it is pretty cool on that. And then just delete it. You have different things like this, which is just a satin stitch. So you can add in satin stitches and then adjust them so you have different ones going on. A lot of different things you can do with this. Ooh, card 9. Let's see what that is. That is like cross stitching kind of thing going on. That is really cool. So yeah, like I said, here you can see it. You can select different cards. If you just have it like this, it's going to repeat it. If you add another one. So now I have the squiggly and it goes into the block. Go back to the squiggly and you can do different lines like that. But yeah, like I said, there's all the different cards. And then say you select this one where it says 1-7, that means there's 7 different cards. And you get to go through and look. So if you want to do like the vein, or the vine, sorry, not vein, with a flower, there, I just did a flower. And you go back to the vine and the flower. And then you can add in repeat, stuff like that, so that in a straight line it's just going to continue as doing the vine, the flower, the vine, the flower, and whatnot. This all down here is the embroidery. This will be the embroidery. You can view them. Let's see, there's not a lot on the machine itself. Let's see, there's 13 kind of thing. But to really get into this, I got to switch out the deck to the embroidery one. So these are all the ones included on it. Oh, Halloween is coming. We can resize that, increase it. That's the max. Just a little pumpkin. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see what's in here. So 14 different designs in this one. Oh, the strawberries, that looks like a cross stitch. It is. So these are like cross stitch designs. That's really pretty. I like that. The little robot. That's adorable. Oh, the birthday candles are really cool. So like I said, all these came with the machine, but you can definitely download more from different sites, buy your own. That's why the jump drive comes in play. It gets plugged into the side right here, which my best friend, she also has a machine. She told me something about them because this is the setup that I had. Because you have to pull this in and out when you're adding more files and everything like that, and it wears it out on this side over time. So you buy this little jumper, you plug that into your machine so that when you're taking this on and off, you're only going to wear out this little cord here, which was only a few bucks, and not the one that's in your machine. So highly recommend this. I'll leave a link for this in the description. So if you do have your own embroidery machine that has the USB setup like this, I recommend getting this so you don't wear out your machine. Because this is very hard to replace. This is a couple bucks. But all it does, like I said, plugs into the side here. Like that. And then I have my drive right there. And just pop it off and on. This one came with one. Nope, that's not it. There it is. So I'm gonna see, take off mine. Let's open this up and see if anything came with it. Now I think with the Wi-Fi, I'm pretty sure how it works is you can actually access like your laptop or something, as long as it's on the same network, and just pull files from there. Or straight from the internet. I don't know. I gotta read on that. Alright, so that's how you do it. You add the little pocket. This should be... So, free embroidery for brother, animals, duck, pig. See what that is. Oh, it's a cute little duck. Oops. Flower carnation. So there's quite a bit of stuff in here. And this is all on the jump drive. So let's see how this thing is going to sew. We'll get it threaded up and go from there. So this back to here is how you widen the bobbin. I already have bobbins wound, so I'm not going to do that. So this is 1. Around here is 2. Down here is 3. Up here is 4, and you grab the little arm. Down for 5. 6 is into the needle. 7 across. You push that down. And it is threaded. And that has to be the quickest needle threader I have ever seen. Oh, see, that is not the centered one. Number 4 is centered. So good to know, right? Alright, so I hooked up the pedal because I'm going to need that for the sewing part of it. And I have just some plain black fabric. See it right there. Quiet, smooth. And there you go, cut. I didn't have all the extra thread in the way. So it tucks it back up in there, which is really nice too. Okay, let's do something fancy, shall we? Let's play with 6. That looks fun. We'll add in that, add in like 2 of those, that, and that. Okay? I do believe we can just hit start. Ah, that's what I thought. My other one was the same way. So as long as I have this in here, the automatic start's not going to work. So I'll just get rid of that and hit. And there you go. Now it did go, you know, pull it kind of wonky. So if you're going to do that, hold it straight. I just want to see. Tension looks good. Again, those are nice and tucked in away in the back. And there you have it. So now I have the foot on, and I'm just going to do it my own way, my own speed. All right, if that seems pretty slow, up here you have a speed thing, so we can speed this machine up. So as you can see, this thing is not only moving the fabric back and forth, it's actually moving it side to side as well. That allows you to do a lot more fancier stitches than just what is allowed within the normal width of a machine. Now, my foot was still pressing on the pedal, but I was at the end of my design, so that's all it's going to do. But you can set it up here to where it will repeat, which I do believe is that button right there. So cut it. I love the automatic cutter. I really do. My Juki was the first one that I had that had it, and it was the best thing. So there you have it. So you can run it without the pedal and just do that. You know, hold it so it runs straight. Or you can run it with the pedal if you wish. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this off and put on the embroidery one and see what we got from there, shall we? Got a little window. That's actually really cool. My other one did not have that. It's a little window to keep things clean when you're not using it. How neat is that? All right. There we go. Had to lift up a little bit. There it is. It's quite long. So 1, 2, 3 hands. About, what, 20 inches long or something like that? Somewhere in there. So it's a decent size. This is pretty long as well, so about a foot. So you do need a little bit of space for this thing. So let's go ahead, get rid of the foot part, and turn this bad boy on. Alright, and it's going to move this whole thing to adjust it. And there you have it. Now we're ready to rock and roll. We're going to go ahead and open up this. And well, now is a good time to show you something else I got. Shall we? So one of the accessories that you do get with these machines, we'll go over some of that real quick, is a pair of scissors, little nips kind of thing. And when you have an embroidery machine and everything, on the back side you're going to have a lot of threads. Depending on how intense your design is, these come in handy. These are actually pretty decently sharp. Let's see what else is in here. Let's see, when using a pre-round bobbin. Yeah, I don't know what that is. We're going to have to read up on that. That is new. Alright, so depending on the size of your spools, there's a few different sizes to the caps. I also have a screwdriver, the eyelet thing. There's your brush with the toothpick. There's a smaller cap, whole bunch of different things in there. Not to leave these out. Okay. But something I noticed with these ones is I lose them in the studio all the time. I promised myself I'm not going to take it away from the machine. Next thing I know, I go to the machine to do something and these guys have wandered off. So I picked up these ones just to see how they are going to do and to have extra ones in the studio, so when my original ones wander off, I hopefully can find one of my backup pairs. So these ones, let's see, they have a nice case or top to them. They're smooth. The holes aren't too big or too small, which is nice. And let's see. Here's some threads. And they're sharp. And how close can they get? I would say pretty close. So, that's nice. And where is that starter? There it is. It's always fun to find, right? So why is the thread for the bobbin not the same as the thread that you sew for the top? The bobbin thread for embroidering is usually thinner. It's a little bit lighter of a weight. It'd be nice if I had my finger. And if you're wondering what happened, yeah. I caught it on a piece of metal and I tore the nail basically from here to about halfway through. So I 3D printed a finger guard and I'll be wearing that for quite some time until it, one, is not so tender, and two, the nail grows out and doesn't become hazardous to rip again. So, needless to say, I will probably be 3D printing a few more. This one has a lot of sizes or thickness to it, so there's no way it's touching it because it is super tender. It is so tender right now. But when the tenderness goes away, the nail is still, because it's torn, it can get caught easy, so I have another one and it's a firmer fit, so to protect it for the next, 4 to 6 weeks basically. Alright, so following the diagram, this thing is going to go this way, around the thing here, and we need a bobbin. What did I do with the bobbins? Oh no! A bobbin. These do take the regular bobbins that other brothers and singers take, so I don't remember the number offhand. It's in the manual somewhere. So according to this, just pop this little honey on here. We're going to wrap it around, and then on this gray part, there's little catches. We're going to go catch one of those, like that. And then there we have it. And then we should, that did not work because I did not hold on to it. Give it a couple wounds. There we go. Okay. For those that don't know about bobbins and if they wind uneven, so more towards the bottom and thin at the top, or more towards the top, thin at the bottom, whatever, most machines you can actually adjust it. So for this one, it is winding more towards the bottom, which means when the thread is going up and down, it is trying to push further down on the bottom, but because of the lip and everything, it can't go, so it's adding more to the bottom than to the top. So on most machines, you can actually adjust and get your bobbin to wind evenly. So for those of you who have issues, this is how you fix it. On this one, the screw is right here. I'm going to loosen that, lift this thing just a tiny bit. You're talking like micro adjustments on these things. That's all it takes usually. So I'm going to get my accessory pack, find the Phillips that they did not send with it, but it will take a flat. Oh, let's hope I can do this one-handed. And yes, I am right-handed, so this is kind of awkward. All right, hold on, I gotta get a different one. Okay, I had to get a big screwdriver. Loosen it. And adjust it just a little bit up. And tighten it back down. See if that winds better. It is. Okay. I'm going to let this wind for a while, and I'll be back when it's finished. So more of a close-up view. This is the screw, and all I did was lift it just a tiny bit. At the very bottom of it, you can see the slot now showing because it was all the way down at the very bottom. I wish I would have wound a bobbin with regular thread because I could have watched it and seen what it was doing, but I did not. So the next bobbin should be better. If not, I will readjust that one. Now, as far as my Juki, that's the cord then you wrap towards the bottom, and on the back side here, right there, is the screw. You loosen that and you can adjust it up and down. I had another machine that this screw here, if it will focus, that one there is where you adjusted it. And you just used a Phillips screwdriver and brought it up and down, that sort of thing. So, if you're ever having issues with your bobbin not winding evenly, adjust that thing and it should fix it. Okay. Now this thing drops in, just like that. Feeds around. We'll go ahead and take this off. So if you don't know which size of this to use, basically you want it just a, you want it bigger than the spool that you're using. So that it fits like that. That way when it's feeding off of it, it doesn't get caught on any of the slices or the burrs or whatever is on the spool, kind of thing. All right, and I just so happen to have some embroidery thread here. And this is a nice little silver. Put that on. I'm going to use my cap. and put that on nice and taut. And then thread the machine with it. Okay, so before we thread that, we need to change out our foot. Pull that through and shove it down through the eye. There we go. All set up. Yay! So now for the embroidery part, I want just some lettering, and I want to see what is out there. Okay, so those are just the monograms. This is the lettering. Now we can write what we want. And we'll go 90 degrees. Go down. Let's just go back up. Go down a level. Oop. Ah, wrong day. And we're going to check that. Stay creative. Alright, so the hoop that came with it is your standard hoop. And this one is a pretty good size. It's 5x7 print area. This is how it hooks on up into here. And this is your centering guide to make sure that you're on. So you get your fabric and everything loaded up. You slip that on, and that's where your start needle is so that you know you're centered in the fabric where you want to be. So yeah, that's your start one. Or you can have different start points. These are holes that go all the way through it, kind of thing. So that way you can line it up. So if you're doing like a pocket or, you know, something like that. So I have my fabric hooked up to the hoop. I decided to go with this fabric. Slip this thing on here. All the way in. Make sure it's all the way down. That's all set. Alright, so I have Stay Creative, and I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to be doing those vertical up and down, so when this thing is sitting, it's going to be, you know, 7 long kind of thing. I think it's plenty big enough, so we're going to end edit. Get ready to embroidery. I have the silver still hooked up. I did change out to the little one because it does seem to hold it in better. So that shouldn't move around. And we are ready to go. Alright, we're all finished. Now lift it up. Undo that. And there you have it. And there you go. Not bad. Alright. So, there's a lot to learn with the machine. You may have seen in the time lapse, I was reading the manual a bit. But there you go, my first impressions. Pretty good machine, definitely an upgrade from the SE6 whatever it was, 627 I think, that I had, which was definitely way smaller. The max size hoop on that one was 4x4. This one you can have, you know, the hoop that came with it, which is the 5x7. You can also, if you see over here, there's 4 different hoops across here. So 5x7, this is the magnetic one, the 4x4, and then that is an oval hoop of some variety. So I did pick up the magnetic one, and I will be trying that out, but that will be a different video. I think this one's gone on long enough. So there's the overalls of the machine. Very easy to use. A lot of different functions, a lot of different features. There's like a dozen different buttonhole things on it, a whole bunch of different stitches, plus the embroidery. Some things are built in. Scan disc to do the rest. So in the description below, I'll have the machine, this jumper thing here, which again, highly recommend. I'll go ahead and list the little scissors that I picked up because these things are pretty cool. Yeah, they are affiliate links, so if you do decide to purchase something, I will get a kickback from Amazon. It doesn't cost you anything more, but it does help support this channel and future projects like different machines, different accessories that are going to go with it, and so on and so forth. So yeah, link for that and all the other stuff will be in the description below, so go ahead and head over and check that out. As far as the other machines, I have, like I said, the Singer Heavy Duty 6600C. I will be selling them. If you are interested in buying one, you can hook me up on Facebook or Instagram. Send me a message saying that you are interested. I am selling them for $200. I have 2 of them. So $200 a piece if you do want one. Yeah, links for the Facebook and Instagram are in the description below as well, so you can go check that out. I would love to give one away, but unfortunately I don't make any money really doing this. This is just for fun. So eventually, when I get more followers and start making money on YouTube or whatever, I'll probably start giving some stuff away. But for now, sorry, not gonna happen. Links for everything below in the description and in the pinned comments, so you can go head over and check that out. But the biggest support you can do for this channel and for me is to subscribe if you want to. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed it, if you found something useful. Leave a comment below. Tell me, do you sew? If so, what machine do you have? Do you have an embroidery machine? Is it an embroidery combo like this one? Do you like it? You know, stuff like that. How many years have you been sewing? Are you just starting out? Are you interested? Or have you been sewing like me for like 30 some years? Let me know below. Leave me a comment. And until then, I will see you in the next one. Stay creative. This is going to be a fun 6 weeks. Yay. These are nice.